There's one more thing I've been working on. I need to go and get it. You might be a little bit shocked. It's a brand new cast on. Give me a minute. Hello, Happy New Year. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly, also known as Roro and Kids, and this is a podcast all about everything I've been knitting, crocheting, designing over the last few weeks. Welcome. This is episode 94. So for the last few months I've been collecting a lot of new subscribers, which is amazing. I've got something in my eye. That's because I did the cowl, and I usually get a few new subscribers from doing the cowl, and then I've just done Vlogmas and a few of you have come over from Vlogmas, so a massive welcome. This is my usual content. I do a podcast every 2 weeks like this, and the other 2 weeks of the month I do little different things, like pattern rundowns and I don't know, I sometimes try and do tutorials, but that hasn't happened last year at all, but I am planning on doing more, but we'll see. Welcome. I am very, very scatterbrained. I am a perimenopausal 49-year-old who is pretty much like this. So if that's the kind of entertainment you enjoy, stick around. I am a knitting pattern designer. I have a lot of patterns out already. I used to design for Let's Knit magazine a lot. I've also designed for Knit Now and The Knitter a fair few times, which are all UK magazines. And other bits and bobs, and then I've got a lot of self-published patterns, so I am like a knitting pattern designer, and I also do stitch markers and things like that. So yeah, just a little snippet of what you can expect from me. Pretty much scatterbrained, like staring into spaceness. Anyway, hopefully not. So I've got a lot to talk about, so we will get cracking with what is going on. It is a very, very dull day. Now the lighting on the camera doesn't look too bad, but it might just change a bit because it's super grey and dark outside. I've put no lights on in the house to try and keep it as natural lighting as possible, but just bear with in case it gets any darker, because it's pretty thick and grey out there. Ugh, winter, yuck. Right, so finished objects. I have a couple of finished objects, but they are not in my possession, because if you didn't watch my Vlogmas, why not? And also, I'm joking. There's millions of Vlogmases. I totally understand, but if you didn't, you won't have seen the things that I've been making, unless you watched the little shorts that I was doing, and then you might have seen them. So I did 3 Christmas presents this year. I was planning 4 Christmas presents, actually. I was planning on doing more, but decided, I was told numerous times that one of the people that I was planning on making it for would just leave it where it was and not even take it home, and never mind not wear it. It would just be abandoned. So I just decided not to waste my time. And then the other person I was going to make for was kind of like if I have time, and I didn't. So the first one I did was, I'm going to put pictures up because that's all I have, was these socks. These are for these belong now to my sister-in-law Amy. They are the Thormid, I think, socks. I can't remember. It will all be on the screen. I can't remember. By Rachel Stogard. I don't know. I could be totally making that up. Christmas has been rough. So this is a weird pattern, and I have talked about it before, but you literally, the start of round, if you haven't knit socks before, this won't make any sense to you. But if you have, I feel like I'm talking 100 miles an hour today, and I'm sorry if I am. If you have, so the start of round for these socks is in the centre back. So it's really weird. And you work it like that, but you're coming back to the centre back all the time. And then when you get to the heel, you kind of do half the heel because of where the start around is, and then you turn back on yourself and do the other half of the heel. It was really weird. It was really weird. And also the heel, as far as I'm aware, from what I could tell, the heel doesn't have any slip stitches or anything to reinforce it. It's literally just a stocking stitch panel. Now, I was doing them 2 at a time, cuff down, which was my first ever time doing cuff down 2 at a time. So typically I pick a pattern that's bloody awkward. And when I got to the heel and realised that it was just like, why am I doing this? I know how to knit a sock. Just take the front panel out of the pattern and stick it in my own sock recipe, and that's what I did. So I literally took them off the needle, put them back on, put my start around where I wanted it, and which is at the beginning of the front, and then I just, yeah, I did that. So I did a slip stitch heel on mine and everything. But the pattern doesn't have that. So don't, when you look at this picture, that isn't actually the pattern. It is just the Hannibal Lecter, the front. It is the front panel from the I'm doing well. The Thermid socks. Yeah, which is, it's nice. It's like it's got like a little bit of like pearl and knit. It's got pearl stitches and knit stitches making like a little diamond pattern going up the front. It has a 2 stitch, is it a 2 stitch or 3 stitch? I can't remember. It's a very small cable going up. And it had a slip stitch, you know, like what you do on the heel, where you would normally slip a stitch. So you have this like elongated stitch as a bit of padding. It had that going down as well. Yeah, and it was nice. It was just a funny pattern. I don't know. Weird. So I've made those in Drop's Fable Emerald City. My sister-in-law's favourite colour is green. And yeah, they were on 2.25mm, which I think again is not according to the pattern. I'm pretty sure the pattern said 2.5mm needle. I will put the US translations onto the screen. Conversions, not translations. Yeah, so it's pretty, and she really liked them, and she sent me a picture, which I will also pop up, of her wearing them, and the mug that we got her, because her dog looks like that dog on the mug. So we got her a mug and we got knit the socks, and she sent me that when she was back at work. She works from home, so yeah. Yeah, so that was good. They were well received. The next finished object I had was her boyfriend's socks. So I made him some socks, which are these ones. Now, after learning my lesson with hers being patterned, I decided not to pattern his socks. I was going to do them in my Athanium pattern, but I just decided I just wanted to just knock them out and get them done. I knitted him the same size width-wise that I would do my husband, which is a 64 stitch, but on a 2.5mm. My husband is a size 11 foot in the UK, whereas her boyfriend, Joss, he's called, Joss is a size 9, so I didn't have to knit for as long. Yay! And while I was really worrying, because there's nobody in my house who's a size 9. I'm a 7 or a 6 or 7. 6, 7 if you've got kids. If you haven't got kids, you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. My husband is an 11, my eldest son is a 10, and my youngest son is a 4. So there's no size 9s in the house. And I was like, ugh. I was knitting them on a afternoon chat with my friend Ange, and she's a size 9, so she tried them on for me to see if they fit her, and I'd knitted them too long, and she got me to pull them back a bit, and we tried, and when they were finished she tried them on again and it fit her perfect, and I was like, yes. So perfect. It's great to have friends with the right size feet. Yeah, so I made him those. Now, I don't know if they've fitted him. I don't know if he likes them. I know nothing. He's never had a pair of hand knitted socks before. They've been together a few years now, like at least 3. But and I know my sister-in-law loves a pair of hand knitted socks. And she'd said, like, I'd said, do you think he would like them? And she was like, yeah, make him some. So I did. Don't know how they've gone down. I might find out. I might not. I don't know. Maybe when it comes round again, I might say, does he want another pair of hand knitted socks, or did he not bother because I'm not wasting my time? And she will tell me the truth. So yeah. So I don't know, but he seemed to like them, and hopefully they fit. They were also in Drops Fable. I can't remember the name of Deep Ocean, I want to say. Beautiful colour. His favourite colour is also green, but I didn't want to knit them in the same colour. And she told me that he wears a lot of blue socks. So he got Deep Ocean. My cat's scratching to go out, but it's pouring down with rain, so let me just see. Right, he's gone out, but it's raining, and he's never been out in the rain before, so we'll probably, I don't know, we'll see how he goes. Right, the other present I did. Oh, my tea's staining my mug. Oh, my tea's not very nice. Oh, that's awful. Oh, I made a chai tea. That's not nice at all. Right. The other gift I made was a hat for my mother-in-law. I can't remember the pattern name. Auckland something. I can't remember. So this was just like a broken rib hat with a folded up brim. I knitted it in King Cole's Homespun DK in the amethyst colourway, I want to say. I will put all the truth on the screen. So what did I do? I did something wrong on this. I knitted it, and then, that was right. I had somehow didn't have enough stitches. I think I either had one too many or one less. And because it's broken rib, when I got to the end, I had 2 knit stitches running up the back, and I was like, and I'd got about this far before I realised the brim was already folded up. It was just in the body of the hat, and I didn't like that. So I dropped down and just picked up a stitch and pulled and tugged to make it okay. And then I carried on. When I got to the crown, I had too many stitches, and the crown wouldn't work. I can't remember. I had like 4 extra stitches, and I don't understand how I did that. I can't remember what happened. I think it was when I was joining the brim, and I had to like faff to. I can't remember, but I was rushing, and I was like, this isn't getting pulled out and started again. I'm not knitting an entire double rib again. Not that double ribs are this big, but you know. So I was like, I'm not doing that again. Like, I will fudge until the end of days. So I just basically, I didn't follow her crown decreases. I just basically did my own, and yeah. I sewed the pom-pom on, but I left a little hole at the top of the hat, and I sewed it on with a button so you could poke the button through. And because when I finished the hat, I realised it was actually reversible, and I haven't got a picture of it reversed, but it was just a bit more pearl bumpy. It almost looked like a moss stitch hat, but it wasn't, but it almost looked kind of like that sort of patterny effect. So she can take the bobble off and leave it. Well, I did explain this to her on Christmas Day, and she went, I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it as it is. So I said, you do need to take the pom-pom off when you wash it though. But I know not many people wash their hats very often. It's not a thing that you really wash often, is it? The majority of us. Anyway, so, and then a few days later, she popped around the house, and I seen that she had a cowl on that I'd knit her last year, which was a purpley colour, and then her purple hat. So that's nice. So I know that she liked it, and it fits. Yay. So, yeah. All good. So they were well received. Now the 4th present is still not complete, and I did really expect this to be complete by the time I saw you again. It's just I haven't had as much knitting or crocheting time as I expected, and also this requires pure concentration and no TV. And What have I been watching? I've been watching something that I need. I've been watching Stranger Things because I knew that I was going to get spoilers if I didn't get it watched, so I watched that. Didn't really. I thought the last episode was, but whatever. And I'm watching Traitors UK and things like this. So I haven't like had a lot of crochet time. Crochet is like no TV for me. I can't watch TV and crochet. No, I'm not that good. So this is what we have so far, which you might have seen already, but this is Fudge, because he's fudged to death. This is the Puff the Stegosaurus pattern by Heidi Bears. Yes, it is. This is probably the most trickiest thing I've ever made that in memory, which isn't the greatest of memories, but yeah, it's just so fiddly. However, because I've realised that with me saying how fiddly it is and everything, a lot of people have been like, oh, I wanted to make one of them, but I don't think I'm going to bother. But let me explain. So, as you can see, Fudge's tail is rather lumpy bumpy. It could have done with a bit more stuff in here, to be fair. For some reason, there's a gap. I don't know. You basically, when you start making Fudge, you start here and so, for those of you who have no idea about, it's not called Fudge, that's just what I've called him, Puff. He's called Puff. For those of you who have no idea about Puff the Stegosaurus, you basically make all these hexagons and pentagons and there's a couple of whatever an 8-sided one is called, octagon, I assume, and there's a couple of 7s, which I have absolutely no clue. But you make them all first, so you just have a big pile of the shapes. And then she gives you instruction to fasten them together. And you use your main colour and you start at the tail and you start fastening. Well, at the beginning, I had no clue what was going on. I was so confused. It's not to say that the pattern isn't good. It's just I've only been crocheting a year and a half. It's coming up 2 years in May, I think. April, May time, late April, early May. I started crocheting. It'll be 2 years in late April, early May. And I've only really done bits and bobs. I haven't done any garments. Well, I've done a hexy cardigan. That doesn't count. I've done no garments. I've done like a couple of I haven't. I've started blankets, haven't finished any. And I've done an amigurumi spider, which is what started me off, because my husband's always wanted a pet spider, and that's as much of a pet spider that is entering our home. What else have I done? I did a lizard for my son, which he destroyed instantly, pulled its eyes off. It's not like he's 2 either, he's 9. Anyway. He blamed the effectiveness of the eyes that I used. He said that they were poor quality. So you start here, and I really didn't know what was happening, and then I did this bit and it was all wonky and bumpy, and then I kind of, at some point around the 4th or 5th, I mean, look at this big lump. Like, I honestly, I was just like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, I don't understand. Oh, this is weird. Oh, how on earth am I going to get this from what I've got? And then it kind of clicked. And I was like, oh, I get it now. I get what I'm doing. So then I got a lot better. And it's not so bad. The most fiddly part is his face, because you're obviously getting, this is the last piece that goes in, and you have to join in this piece with everything else attached, so that's quite tricky, and he's obviously stuffed at that point as well. Other than that, it's really not that bad, and I think if you have crocheted for a while, you will have absolutely no problem. You just need to get it done. He's already got ends hanging out. Can we see the end? But my son has been sleeping with him every night, which is why he's also got a very fuzzy, pilly face already. So he's not finished because he needs his plates. And the plates are made, and I will show you. So, what have I done with them? They're in here. Okay. Hang on, I'm attached. I haven't finished. So, I made them in this beautiful, so this is Anti-Valentine. It was a leftover scraps that I had. Anti-Valentine, which is a Stranded Dye Works yarn when Jude used to dye. Oh, I love it. It was the only ever Stranded Dye Works yarn that I bought, and then he stopped. But I love this colour. So I decided to do the plates in this colour. However, I didn't really realise, I don't think things through. It's as simple as that. So what you have to do is you have to join the plates together, which I've obviously started doing on these. This is the only one I've joined together. I'm going to drop my bag. So I've made all the plates. You make 16 in total. And then you join them together and you fasten them to him. Hang on. Like this. Because he's a Stegosaurus. So he has his plates going along his back like this. And he'll look beautiful, but 16 means he's got 8 plates. He has 6 big ones, 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and then he has 2 little ones on his back. Okay, so 8 plates to sew in. This is all I have left, and I have to go around the outside of every one. So it kind of made me go, and I just put it down and I didn't pick it back up, which I know is bad because my son keeps going, is he finished yet? Is he finished yet? What about now? Is he finished now? And I'm like, oh no. And also, like I say, I've been watching TV. So I have all of these. They're all made. I know you can't really see them like that, but they're there. I think what I might do is pull it back and do the outside and the join in this, which is the main colour, which he chose. I don't think that would look too bad. And I think that's what I'm going to do, just to like, it's either that or I use this around them. I don't know. I just need to make a decision and just get them sewn on. And to be honest, he picked his main colour. So, yeah, I just need to make them up and get them sewn on. I'm just really dragging my feet on it. And I think it's because, one, I can't watch TV while I'm doing it. I have to have an audio book on. And the audio book I'm currently listening to is a bit, I'm not really into it. I'm a bit like, I think I might pick a new one. So that doesn't help. But yeah, he's nearly done. He was done enough for Christmas. I did wrap him up for Christmas and he was over the moon. And like I say, he slept with him every night since, which is why he's got ends hanging out already and a bobbly face. So by the time he gets his plates on, he's probably going to look like a tatty old man. But, yeah, he's lovely. He's lovely. And I am actually really proud of him. And I told Rowan, my son, that you better look after him. Because he took me hours and hours, months. I tell you, months. I did. I put my foot down. So that's fudge. What else have I been working on? I have been working on the Athanium jumper, but only a tiny, tiny bit. Because I am at the sleeve separation. So this is a new design I'm working on. If you are new here, I have the Athanium tee, I have the Athanium sock, the Athanium cowl, the Athanium hat. I like the Athanium pattern. And a lot of you do too, which is why I have continued with it. This is the Athanium jumper, which is in the beautiful Malabrigo Rios. And I chose the Ivy colourway. I will show you that first. Oh, look at it. It's just so beautiful. I love it. So I am at the shawl separation and I have taken it off the needles and blocked it. I know it doesn't look like it, but I did. I took it off the needles and blocked it. It's been shoved back in my bag since. It was only a couple of days ago. Because I like to block them at this point just to get out the shoulder. I tend to, when I block it when it's fully done, I tend to end up with shoulder creases and I don't like that. So I wanted those blocking out. And then, but I mean, it's been crumpled in my bag, so it probably needs blocking again. But it'll be fine. It will get blocked again. So this is where we're at. Sleeve separation is imminent. I just need to get it back on the needles and get that done. I am then going to, there are 2 sleeve options in the pattern. There is a tapered sleeve and there is like a, I never know what it's called, like a puff sleeve, like the one that just goes straight down and then a rapid decrease at the cuff. That one. There is 2, there is both of those options in the pattern, purely because I was only going to do the bubble one, which is what I want. But people have said that they want to knit it for husbands and things, and I figure that it is a unisex jumper and a lot of men don't want bubbly sleeves. So I put the tapered option in and then all sexes can choose. So yeah, I have done that. So what I need to do now I've done the yoke, I need to separate for the sleeves and knit both sleeves, one a bubble one and one a tapered one, to make sure that that works in the pattern. Then it can go off to tech editing. My tech editor is patiently waiting. Thank you very much, Ali. She's patiently waiting, and she will tech edit it, and then it can go into testing, and it will be released in, like, we're looking at like autumny time now, because there's no point releasing a jumper right as summer's starting because no one's going to want to knit it. But it's probably going to come out like July-ish so that you can get ready for autumn. I'm not sure yet. I will look into things and see when it's possible. But there's no definite date at all, obviously, right now. So that is where I'm at with that. It is coming. It is very high on my priority list. However, higher on my priority list is this. Now, I've talked to you about these before. So this went into, this was on my Patreon. This is an old pattern that was originally called Fall Favourites in Let's Knit magazine. Bob. And it has a cowl too. So this was called Fall Favourites, which I hated. I did not like that name at all. It's this lovely lace work. There's no cables in that or anything. It's just all lace. And it's been back into my hands for a long time. I've just never got around to being able to release it. So I put a vote up in Patreon of some hats and things that needed to be reworked and released, and this was the one that was chosen. We are going to be doing that every other month now, and I'm going to get worked through some old designs, but I'm going to talk to you about that in a couple of weeks properly, or in a week, I think. So originally Fall Favourites, but I didn't like the name, so we did a vote in Patreon. The Bobbles and Nups tiers, they chose names and then they did a massive vote. There was 20 names to choose from, and the winner was Woven Branches. So this is now the Woven Branches pattern, and it is basically a DK hat, obviously from the brim to the crown, and then you get a long cowl with it, which came with the pattern from Let's Knit. However, I also think that if you've got a long cowl, you should have a short cowl option. And so I'm knitting a short cowl option. That is a penis marker. I apologise, I didn't warn you first. So this is what I've been working on. I have one more pattern repeat to go and then the edging, and then that's done. And that is the short cowl. So this was knitted years and years ago, and the yarn, I'm pretty sure, was Shapier's Merino. What was it called? Was it just Merino DK? I can't remember. It was Shapier's. Don't know the colourway, nothing. It might be on the original pattern. If it is, I'll pop it on the screen. That's what this was. And when I was thinking about knitting the small cowl, for photos and continuity, I didn't really want to deviate from that, but I don't have any of that in stash. What I do have is this in stash, which is West Yorkshire Spinners Bow Peep Pure DK. This is the Dandelion colourway. I used it to knit a hat for the Knitter magazine. I've got a hair on my lip and it's driving me a bit bonkers, I'm sorry. It was the Spring Gardens hat, which I'll pop up, that was in the Knitter magazine. And I had leftover. I had a lot left over because they sent me double by mistake and told me to keep it. So this is what I've decided to do. And it's not too much different. It's slightly paler. You can see it's a bit paler, but it's not bad. And for photos, it'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, this is what I have been working on. I have prioritised this over everything else because I need photos. This pattern will be coming out like imminent. Like, does that make sense? I don't know. It's coming out very soon. I would say in the next, where are we at now? It's the 9th of January today, I think. Or is it the 8th? No, it's the 9th. It's soon, like next week, maybe even next Friday or something. It should be out. It's very, very soon. I'm going to get this out. Every single paid member of Patreon will get the pattern for free, no matter what tier they're in, pom-poms, bubbles or nups. They will get the pattern for free. Everybody else, there will be a discount code on my mailing list if you are on my mailing list, and then that's it. But yes, so you need to be on my mailing list, and I usually do like a 15% off discount. All the links are below, whatever you want to do. But yes, and this is going to be a regular thing on my Patreon now. So the Bobbles and Nups will be voting for the one to do. They will maybe name it, maybe not. It all depends on whether I like the name or not, basically. Sometimes a pattern gets renamed by a magazine and I don't like that. I don't mean I don't like it ever, but a lot of the time they tend to name it by the colour that it's knitted in, and I hate that. Like, you tying people to that. I don't understand that. I have a hood pattern that I really, really need to get worked on, but it needs a lot of work. But that's on my list for this year, and I can't remember what I originally called it, but it was knitted in a purple yarn, and when they brought it out, they called it Purple Dream, and I was like, what if someone knits it in black? Oh, this is my Purple Dream hood. Like, it makes no sense. I don't get it. I don't like it. So I try to change that. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent, Fionn. My cat has come to see me. Do you want to say hello? You don't like being picked up, but I know you like to see her. She's scary. There she is. Look, she's lovely. You're lovely, aren't you? You're very scary. Yeah, yeah. She doesn't like being picked up. She's very sharp, shall we say? Right. So, what was I saying? Yes, so I know we're not supposed to be talking about Patreon yet because I usually talk about it at the end, but I want to explain that from now on, Patreons, Bobbles and Nups will choose a pattern from my old catalogue so that I can get all these old patterns out and dealt with, because I just never find the time. I'm always wanting to get on with new patterns. So if I do this, it kind of forces me and gives me accountability to get them done. So they will vote on which one to do, and then the following month, if it more than likely will want test knitting because it's old and I just want to make sure it's okay when I copy it over. So they will do a quick test knit. This is the only patterns that I give priority test knitting to Patreons. All new patterns and everything else is just, it's from my mailing list. But this is just a Patreon thing, so they will do that. And then once the pattern is ready, they will vote for what cover the pattern has, which they do anyway. They always vote for my pattern covers. They'll vote for the picture that I should use on the cover, and then the pattern will be released, and every paying Patreon will receive the pattern. So job's a good one. We're on a roll. Right, what is the next thing I've been working on? It is... I forgot one of my projects. I have done a tiny bit on my Into the Woods socks. No, Under the Hill socks, Into the Woods. I haven't got a pattern called that. I don't think you've seen them get to this point, but this is as far as I've got. It's literally on just this one. This was my Cozy Toes cowl pattern for last November, December. This is as far as I got. My Christmas knitting took over. I should have started them earlier in the November and I didn't. They are knitted in this beautiful sock set that I got from the Yarnimal Club by Wild Magic Yarn. This was the Cherry Blossom sock set and I love it. So I am going to get them done, but they are kind of on the back burner for now because a new Cozy Toes cowl is now out, which is the Athanium sock, and I need to skein up some yarn and get those knitted because I don't want to fall behind. So they are getting done, but they've took a back seat. But that's as far as I got with them. There's one more thing I've been working on. I need to go and get it. You might be a little bit shocked. It's a brand new cast on. Give me a minute. Okay, so I have a new cast on. I did talk about doing it though. This is the Hyber Knit Along, the new Icelandic, is it Icelandic shawl from Stephen West. Now, I'm not going to show you just yet, I'm going to explain. So I saw it, and I saw it in all its rainbow colours, and a lot of people in my Discord were saying, oh, I'm going to do it. And I was like, oh, I could do that, and I've got an advent, and I could use the advent. I have my 2024 advent from Truly Hooked, which I can't remember the name of, what the theme was or anything. But I was like, I've got that advent and I could use it. And in my mind, I thought my advent was a circular fade. And I knew it was a fade, but I thought it was in a circular fade. So I was like, I could just stripe the colours and just keep going round and round and round in the fade. That's going to look beautiful. And that's how I got my heart set. And then everyone in Discord were showing all their colours, and everyone's doing the stripes and everything. And some of them are coming along amazing and look beautiful. And then I laid out my fade and realised when I was ready to cast on, I laid out my fade and realised it wasn't a circular fade. It is a fade, but it's not in a circle. So one end starts at it's like a teal, and the other end is pink. So I was like, oh, it's not a circle. And then I didn't know what to do. And I ummed and ahed, but I kind of had my heart set. I was casting this on and I didn't know what to do. So I had lots of different bits of advice from Discord. Some of it was absolutely fantastic advice. And what I decided on was to just knit until my colour ran out and ignore the striping in the pattern. So this is the Icelandic cowl, but it looks very different to all the others that you've probably seen because mine has no stripes in whatsoever. It is literally just, I'm following the pattern, but I am ignoring any colour changes that he tells you to do. So here it is. I don't know how much of that you can see. So this is all supposed to be stripes here, and then you go into this brioche that's supposed to be syncopated, which basically means you do a few rows and then it goes across, and so it's out of sync, and it goes again, and then it goes, and it's supposed to change colour. But mine, obviously with me not changing colour, there is 2 colours in there. There is, I think it's colours 3 and 4 in there, or 2 and 3, I can't properly remember. But with it being the way it is, I decided not to syncopate it because it just looked like it was wrong. So I just kept it as normal brioche. And then you've got another garter section, which should be striped, but mine obviously just fades. And then this lovely waffle section, which does have different colours behind it. It is 2 colours on each waffle. But like I say, I've got a fade, so you can't really tell 100%. And then we're back into a garter section, which again should be striped. I really like it. However, if you're regular, you know what I'm like with Stephen West. I'm not a diehard. I think he's clever at what he does, but I think he gets away with too much that small designers wouldn't get away with. Okay? I'm just saying, I don't need anyone coming at me. It's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's everybody's. It's just my personal opinion. Anyway, I think, and I've said this in Discord, this pattern is boring as hell. This bit's good. This waffly bit, I think it's blowing out quite a lot on the camera. The waffly bit was fun, but there's a lot of garter. And I think the reason that it's better to knit is because you've got stripes and you can swap and change. Otherwise, it's just a lot of garter. And yeah, I'm pretty bored. I've put it down. I'm on this big garter section. I've put it down. And then there's a lovely lady in my Discord. I won't mention her name because she has her own podcast, and in case she doesn't want me to out her. Well, she was knitting there's like a scallopy bit, and she said it took her 2 nights to do 1 rows of scallops or so. I think that's what she said. I'm not 100% now, but she'd done the scallops, and then once she'd finished the row of scallops, she hated them, so she ripped the scallops out and just put the bottom edge on, and went from there. I'm kind of dreading the scallops because I don't know what it's going to do to my colours, because they're all short rows and everything, but it's only knitting. So if it messes with my colours, it messes with my colours. It's not going to be the end of the world or anything, is it? It's just, it'll still look beautiful. I do really like this. It's really pretty, purely because of my colours. It's really blowing out on camera, this section here especially. And we are going into darker blue, and now I'm going to hit purple soon, and then it goes into pink. It's just very, very boring. Because I'm not striping, I'm not doing anything but sitting there doing a garter over and over and over again for rows and rows and rows, and every other row gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, yeah, I think he's kind of, he's created a boring shawl, but because he's made you stripe lots of different colours in, it's not so boring. But it is what it is. I've took it on and I will do it, and I am kind of enjoying. It's kind of like a, if I'm doing something else and I want to knit, and I've got to say I am on a knit and natter. The other night I was trying to do this on our Discord knit and natter, and the first row took me about, I don't know, an hour, because I kept having to pull it back because I was too busy talking and I messed it up. So it's ideal for that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not slagging it off. I'm not saying, oh, it's horrible. It's not horrible. It's beautiful. It's just a lot of garter stitch. And if that's not what you want, don't knit it. That's all I'm going to say. It's a bit boring. That is everything I am working on, I believe. Yes, because my priority is to get that cowl finished, which I would like to have it done today, and then Athanium, so that I can get it into tech editing. My cat is just sitting at my feet staring at me. What is the matter? Are you hungry? You got a hungry belly? Is that what's wrong? Okay, so acquisitions. I did get a couple of knitting presents, not a lot. I got an amazing mug from my mother-in-law, which I will have to show you, but it's not to hand at the minute. It's got like, it's got knit, like it's a mug, and then it says like one more row, and like all little pictures of knitting, one more row, and I don't know, I can't remember what it says, but then in the middle of it says Kelly's knitting fuel, which I liked. So I have this mug, and I didn't get any yarn this year from family. I think the thing is, people buy me yarn and then they expect me to use it immediately. They don't properly understand. So when they see that I haven't used it, they're like, well, what's the point in buying her that? But I don't need any more yarn, so it's fine. But they don't understand. Anyway, I did get this amazing bucket from my friend Ange. She made me this. How cool is that? I love it. And inside, she made me a scrunchie for the bath, which I haven't used yet because I wanted to show you guys, but it is now going in my bathroom with a label attached that says, get off, because it's only for me. She made me this out of cotton yarn, proper cute, and this lovely bucket. So that was some yarny gifts I had. Love it. And then my lovely friend Em gave me this beauty. I don't know if you can see that that's sparkly. I don't know if you could tell that my Harbour knit along was sparkly, but it is. Oh, I've got a needle attached. Hello. You weren't meant to be on there. So yeah, can you see? Could you see the sparkle there? I think yeah, you can a bit. It's very, very sparkly. It's beautiful. This is Lilacs by Rosie's Moments as the label. And she also attached. These are like one of my favourite. I love these. I don't know what it is about them. I just really love that type of marker. Am I even focusing on things today? Hello? I don't know. And then this one, the macaroons, which is more than likely from Castleview Crafts, who I also love. So yeah, that was from my lovely friend That's it really, nothing else. I did have a question for the people in the back, not necessarily in the back. It is about this. So I bought 3 balls of Wool Revival by West Yorkshire Spinners, which was their DK yarn that is also a sock yarn. It is an 80% British wool and 20% nylon. And I saw it like in the summer. It might have even been earlier than that, when it first came out, and grabbed 3 balls in different colours. And in my mind, I was like, right, Athanium socks, DK version, and I was going to do a toe-up version and a cuff-down version. And then I've looked at it the other day, and I was like, there's only 225 metres. That's not going to get me a pair of socks, is it? I don't believe it will. I was just wondering if any of you guys had used it, if you've used it for socks, and if you got a pair out of one ball. The other ball was for a hat. I was going to do a DK hat. But yeah, I don't know. I saw it the other day and I was like, you're not going to get a full pair of socks out of one ball of that. You're going to need 2, aren't you? I don't know. DK, I would know if it was 4-ply, but because it's DK, I'm like, I don't know. Can you? So I want to know if any of you have knitted a pair of socks out of Wool Revival, and if you have, how many birds did it take you? Please let me know down there. So yeah, I have not much else to tell you. We had an okay Christmas. It was just okay. I'm not going to say it was amazing. It was lovely to see family that I don't see very often. My sister-in-law, her partner, my brother-in-law. It's lovely to see them. They all live down south, so we don't see them very often. However, Christmas is very, very stressful. And for those of you new here, my husband he has very severe depression and anxiety. He was agoraphobic for a very, very long time. He never left the house, but he, sounds mad, but got a motorbike. He loves motorbikes. Got a motorbike, and it enabled him to get out and about, and it really made his anxiety a lot less. The depression only pops up every now and again. It's very rare, but it's there, but it's not very often that it comes. It's mostly the anxiety that he deals with. So the motorbike was letting him get out and about. Now winter's here. The bike is under wraps. It's locked away. And Christmas started coming, and there's a lot of pressure on Christmas. And so his anxiety got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So December's hit, and it's got really quite bad. When Christmas came, and we were meant to go to his mum's house, which is, it's like a 5-minute walk, never mind like how long it is in the car. It's a 5-minute walk to her house. 7 minutes, say 7 minutes. We were meant to be there for 2:00 for our dinners, and he couldn't go. And then the longer we stayed here waiting, the more pressure he felt. So me and the boys went about 4:00. We got there for our dinner. My husband was really worried that everybody would be waiting to have their dinner and that he was holding them all up. When I got there, the dinner wasn't even ready. So I texted him and said, look, nobody's like, there's no pressure at all, just whenever you're ready. Which made him feel a little bit better. We had our dinners there, and then I just sat and waited for him. Everybody else was drinking. I was just sitting because he wouldn't be able to walk up there. It's too far for him to walk because of his anxiety. So we have to go in the car. And so I was just sitting waiting. And then about 6:00, he said, right, I'm ready. So I drove around in the car to get him. And in between that text message and me getting in the car and getting to him, he'd had a massive panic attack and vomited. So he was in a bit of a state again. So we sat and waited, and he just said, right, like he tends to get to a point where he goes, right, just go, let's just go. And he gets really annoyed with himself. So we got in the car and we just went. Once we were there, it was okay. We literally got to his mum's at about 6:30. And then, because obviously it's quite a stressful day for me, like as well. Obviously it's not as bad as him, but it's still quite a stressful day for me because I'm waiting and I'm like worrying about him, and I'm like trying to keep the kids happy and trying to keep the kids from like making him worse, because that's, if they're like loud and running around and excited, it can make his anxiety worse. So I'm like trying to like keep them contained but still happy, and it's hard and it's stressful. And so by the time we'd got to his mum's, she gave me a glass of Prosecco. Now I don't really drink Prosecco. I only drink it like on a special occasion, and I'll maybe have a couple of glasses, and then I drink spiced rum and Diet Coke. That's my drink. So that's what I usually switch to. She gave me a glass of Prosecco, and I literally just threw it down my neck, and she topped me straight back up again. And then that's pretty much how I spent the rest of Christmas Day. Just literally necking Prosecco in this little glass. It was only like a glass, like a little champagne flute, but like a short one. So there wasn't a lot in it. So it was like 3 gulps and it was gone. And I drank, I don't even know how much I drank. We left there at 4 a.m. and come home. We just walked home, left the car, obviously. We walked. He's all right walking back because he's had a drink and everything. So we walked back. I'd had 2 rums all day, and everything else was Prosecco. And then the next day it was supposed to be my parents coming over, but my mum wasn't very well, so she rang and said, can we give it a miss and come the following day? And I said, yeah, that's absolutely fine, because I was dying. Like, I was talking to my friend yesterday. She was my bridesmaid at my wedding, and she drinks Prosecco every now and again, but she likes wine. And I was talking to her and I said, I did this. And she was like, oh, not with Prosecco. She said, you can't do that with Prosecco. And I was like, I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I was just so stressed that I was just like, yeah, give me a drink, give me a drink, give me a drink. So, Boxing Day, I did nothing but sit on the settee going, just feeling absolutely rubbish. All my own fault, I know that, but it's just, I hate Christmas. It's just too stressful. New Year's swung round and we said, we're not going anywhere. We're just going to spend it, just the four of us, just at home, just the four of us, nice and chill, and we'll do what we want to do. And that's what we did. And it was amazing. We had a really nice night. We did have drinks again. I had recovered at that point, but we did have drinks. My parents came around on the 27th as well, and we had a nice time. We didn't drink with them because they were going home. So it was like a nice sober day, and we just had some nice food and stuff and open presents. So yeah, it was kind of like Christmas Day. Just we have both said that next year we just want a Christmas Day, just the four of us, no pressure, just us four doing what we want to do. Our issue is we don't see a lot of our family, like his side of the family. Like I say, his brother and his sister's partner, they all live down south. So we don't see them very often. So for them to be just down the road and us sit in our house feels a little bit, and they literally only come up for like, they might come up on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve, and then they leave like the day after Boxing Day or something. Like they're not around a lot at all. They have busy lives. So, yeah. We kind of just want to go, no, we're not doing it. It's too much pressure for Terry, and it just ruins Christmas for us both, really. But at the same time, there's that horrible, icky feeling of, but then you're abandoning part of your family. And yeah, I don't know. They could come here, but they more than likely won't. I don't know. But we are we're a bit done with it. It's taken its toll, and it's been like this for a long time. Every Christmas comes around and this is what it's like. So it's getting a bit like, So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do this year, but something's got to give, basically. Something has to change because it wasn't good. New Year was lovely and we had a really, really nice time. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and a lovely New Year, and you did something special. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, I hope you just had a nice end of December. So my Stitch Marker Club was launched on the 3rd of January, which was the Apothecary, no it's not, the Alchemist Stitch Marker. Yes, the Alchemist Stitch Marker. I keep calling it the Apothecary, I don't know why. It's the Alchemist's Stitch Marker Club, which is going to run for the year. And the first one was released, which was, it had this theme. I don't want to say what it is because it's not out yet. It was launched and it sold out in less than 24 hours. I only said that I was going to make 20. They're limited edition, 20 stitch markers. That's it. Because I do not have time to make more than 20 plus the other orders that I get in. I'm already a bit like, oh, I've got a lot. So far I've made 7, and I do have 2 other orders in that are big. One's an order of 3, one's an order of 5. So I need to I've got to rally. Do you know what I mean? But I was absolutely gobsmacked that sold in less than 24 hours. I really didn't expect that to happen at all. I don't know what I expected. Are you sulking because I haven't opened the door? One of my lovely patrons, Carrietta, she said a few days before I owe her a stitch marker because she won a stitch marker in the Bubbles/Nups giveaway that is every month. She won the stitch marker giveaway in December, and I haven't made it because I've been so swamped and just so rubbish. I just haven't made it. And I messaged her and I said, I'm so sorry. She wanted just a little hedgehog. It won't take me long. But I said, I am making that hedgehog, I promise. I've got myself into a bit of a... December was just such a tis month. And she messaged me privately and she said, I'm hoping to be fast enough to get one of your stitch markers. You could just bung him in with that. And if I hopefully are able to buy it. And I was like, you're hoping, like you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, she was right. She was right. You had to be fastest finger first. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. So thank you to every single one of you, 20 people who were the fastest finger first. And one of them is Carietta. Well done. Who got one. And I'm blown away. I am absolutely blown away. I honestly expected to be plugging it for a few weeks. And instead I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do now because I don't need to plug that. So I can't plug it because I can't sell anymore. February's will be coming soon. The February stitch marker. So yes, thank you so much for that. I honestly, like, beyond words, appreciate you all. So thank you. What else? What else have I got to tell you? Nothing. No, I have lots of plans for the year, but I'm going to talk about that in my next video because I'm going to talk to you in my next video about my Make 9 plans for next year because it's not going to be a normal Make 9. I don't even know how I'm going to do it yet. Make 9 might not even be in there. I don't know, but it is definitely, things are going to change this year. I can't carry on the way that I have been, and I need to change things up for my own sanity and just to also, I have a lot of things, my patrons know this because they get a vlog twice a month, but they know that I'm very, very much like, I have a lot of things that need to be done and they never get done because I've always got something else to do. And this year I'm in the mindset of all those things that need to get done are getting done this year. Like, everything else can wait. This needs to be cleared off this list because for my own head, because I sit down and do something and I'm like, yeah, but you need to do that, you know, and yeah, but you should have been doing that. And it drives me absolutely bonkers and I can't cope. So I need to figure that out and get that done. So things are going to be different this year in the fact that a lot of things that I'm going to be knitting a lot of things that I'm going to be knitting are going to literally be my designs, and I don't mean new stuff. It's going to be a lot of old stuff happening. There's hats that need extra sizes adding in because when I first started designing hats I did one size and it's not good enough. I need some extra sizes putting in, so crowns need to be calculated, things like that. Yeah, it's not as straightforward as going, well, just stick another size in. Like, I have to work things out and then I'll have to knit them to make sure it works. I'll get them test knitted. There's all sorts. And I need to get this done and off my checklist. And then I'll feel a lot, like a weight will lift, literally, because it's been waiting on my shoulders for years. So I need to do it. So we will discuss it next week in my plans for this year video, but I need to figure out how I'm going to play it, really. Maybe I do yeah, no, I can't. I was going to say maybe I do yarn and yarns 12 cast on, but I can't cast them all on because that would just make me worse. But she did message me and say that one cast on will count as long as it's between now and the end of January, and I cast on the Hyper Knit Along, so I'm in. Yay! Oh, I love it. I love that Ange does that. I don't know how she copes. I don't know how she knits so much. She must be such a speed knitter. The sparks coming off her needles. Right. I'm going to go because I can see the sun moving around and it's going to start going in my face like it does at this sort of time of day. I don't think I've got anything else to tell you, and I have whinged at you for a good bit there. So I'm going to go. So welcome to 2026. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful year ahead. And thank you for being here and thank you for sticking with me through all the scatterbrainedness and through all the, I don't know, the whinging and the failed knitwear. The never-ending, never-finished whips. No, I really do appreciate you all, and you're all amazing. And I know I'm not as bad as I say I am. I'm quite hard on myself. I think you all know that by now. But I'm just glad you all stick with me. Thank you very much. Right, I will see you all very, very soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.